My eyes are total stockholders equity. Oh, PM, I'm going to calculate net income over sales. We're going to express that as percentage. Now I can calculate return on assets and return on equity directly, or I can use the DuPont identities, which I'm going to do. Take PM multiplied by total asset turnover. ROE is ROA times the EM, and these are percentages as well. And these are, it's a pretty big number. For a lot of companies, an ROE of over 20% is rather acceptable. Let's do the same thing for Southwest Airlines and make a comparison. Well, let's do it here. TAT, sales over total assets. Was, oh, okay. EM is total assets over total equity. Did they calculate it? Yeah. PM is net income over sales. And these are calculated automatically. Let's do that for 2 years. Now, looking at Southwest Airlines, at least for these 2 years, their ROE is not that high. I mean, their ROA is also pretty low. But let's see the differences between the two. The biggest contributor for Delta is their leverage. I mean, last year they had an equity multiplier of 4.9, which means the debt equity ratio of 3.9. So for every dollar of equity they have, they borrowed almost $4. The same number uh, for Southwest is not that high. In fact, If it was higher, that ROE similarly would have been higher. On the TAT side, about 0.75 average uh, for delta, and roughly similar numbers. What you want to call for delta and southwest. It's probably an industry thing. So the differences come from delta has higher profit margin compared to Southwest Airlines, plus it has higher leverage. But the trouble is, the last 2 years were pretty good for air travel, and oil prices were also relatively low. If there's a bad year, things are going to turn pretty bad for Delta very quickly. In fact, I don't know if whose group is going to get what. I mean, you guys should tell me by Friday who do you want to be with in a group, and whoever doesn't give me any preference, I'm going to set them up uh, separately. I'll assign your first homework next Wednesday after class, so you'll have pretty much effectively 4 days to do it with your group. I can even give you more days. But there's going to be a lot of getting data from SEC, calculating these ratios, and making interpretations of these. All right. I'm pretty much done with this part. On next Wednesday, remember, we don't have class on Monday. It's Labor Day. I mean, it's not my choice. I would rather have it because it creates an imbalance with my Tuesday, Thursday section. Those guys are actually going to do a bonus lecture where I'm going to go over some nice little Excel tricks. I'll post those for all of you guys because otherwise there's no balance between sections. And on Wednesday, we're going to talk about price multiples and possible growth rates. Price multiples are ratios like price earnings ratio, price to book ratio, how you can use those ratios to make comparisons across firms in terms of valuations. For example, I can look at price earnings ratio between AMD and NVIDIA, even without worrying about potential growth rates. The trade is obvious. Buy NVIDIA, short AMD, for example. At least it gives you a trade idea. You can do more detailed financial analysis later on if you're actually doing this for a living. Let's stop here. I'm going to post the videos and notes and stuff of this week, probably latest Thursday or early Friday. In the meantime, think about your groups. Either tell me who do you want to be in a group with, or if you don't have any preference, but maybe you don't like her, and say, don't put her in my group. That's also, I will also know that. Yes. Did we get the Google folder shared already, or? No, I haven't shared it yet, but I'm going to post all of those there, and I'll give you guys the Google folder. I absolutely despise Canvas. Plus, I mean, I went through a lot of stuff last spring semester. I don't want to spend this semester learning something new. I'll learn it next summer and use it after that. But even when I was using Blackboard, I only use this to store stuff and communicate that stuff to you guys. Now I'm going to use emails and Google folders to do all of those. So I'm going to do my own LMS basically. And Hopefully, especially if I can get my sabbatical, I'm gonna do my own exam maker and homework maker stuff. Then I definitely don't need uh, Canvas, and I don't use any of those Macro Hill Connect stuff. It creates laziness in students because their test banks and stuff are very limited, and the whole thing becomes a mechanical exercise. You just go through them to get as many points as you can in a short period of time. You have all those AI tools available to you. I don't think there's much learning going on there. Anyway, I'll see you guys next Wednesday.